Have you ever heard a building scream? Not the creaks and groans of an old house settling, but a genuine, human-like scream. It sounds like something out of a horror movie. But for the residents living near the old Blackwood Manor, it's a chilling reality they've learned to live with every night without fail. As the clock strikes midnight, the abandoned structure unleashes a sound that defies all logical explanation. The story of Blackwood Manor is shrouded in local legend and whispers. Built in the late 1800s by a reclusive industrialist, it was once a place of grandeur. But tragedy seemed to cling to its walls. A series of unfortunate events, from financial ruin to untimely deaths, plagued the family who lived there. The last resident, a heartbroken widow, vanished without a trace in the early 1930s. The house has been empty ever since, a skeletal reminder of a forgotten era, standing silent against the skyline. Silent, that is, until midnight. Locals who have lived in the area for generations share stories passed down from their parents and grandparents. They say the screams began shortly after the manor was abandoned. At first, people thought it was a prank, or perhaps an animal caught in a trap. Police were called countless times in the early years. They would search the sprawling, decaying property from top to bottom, finding nothing but dust, cobwebs, and the echoes of their own footsteps. No signs of forced entry, no squatters, no animals in distress. Just an empty, silent building. But the residents knew what they heard. It wasn't just a vague noise. They describe it as a distinct, piercing shriek. Some say it sounds like a woman in agony. Others claim to hear multiple voices, a chorus of despair that lasts for just a few moments before being swallowed by the night. It's so precise, so punctual, that people living nearby used to set their clocks by it. Time to go to bed, they'd say. The manor just screamed. As you can imagine, this phenomenon has attracted all sorts of attention over the decades. Paranormal investigators, skeptics, scientists, and thrill seekers have all made the pilgrimage to Blackwood Manor, armed with a battery of equipment. They've set up highly sensitive microphones, thermal cameras, electromagnetic field detectors, and motion sensors, all aimed at capturing proof of the midnight scream. And this is where the mystery deepens. Every single attempt to record the sound has failed. Investigators will sit in their vans, monitoring their equipment, listening intently with their own ears. At 11:59 p.m., the air grows still. The ambient noise of the night seems to fade away. Then, at the stroke of midnight, they hear it. The scream rips through the silence, just as the locals described. It's undeniable, chilling them to the bone. But when they check their audio recorders, there's nothing, just a flat line. The microphones, capable of picking up a pin drop from 100 feet away, record absolute silence. It's as if the sound exists only in the human ear, a phantom signal that technology cannot perceive. This has led to a fascinating split in theories. The paranormal community believes the building is imprinted with the tragic events of its past. This theory, known as residual haunting, suggests that strong emotional events can leave an energy signature on a location. The screams, they argue, are not from a conscious spirit trying to communicate, but are more like an endless recording, replaying the agony of those who suffered within the manor's walls. The energy isn't physical sound waves, which is why microphones can't pick it up, but a psychic echo that the human mind interprets as sound. On the other side, you have the scientists and skeptics who are equally baffled but refuse to accept a supernatural explanation. They've proposed some incredibly creative, albeit unproven, hypotheses. One of the leading scientific theories is the auditory illusion model. This suggests that the unique architecture of the manor, combined with specific atmospheric conditions that tend to occur around midnight, like a drop in temperature and wind speed, creates a complex acoustic effect. The idea is that low-frequency sound waves, or infrasound, which are below the range of human hearing, are generated by wind passing through the decaying structure in a very specific way. While we can't hear, studies have shown it can have strange psychological effects on people, including feelings of unease, dread, and even auditory hallucinations. So, the theory goes, people aren't actually hearing a scream. Their brains are creating this sound in response to the unsettling physical sensation of It's a compelling idea, but it doesn't fully explain why the phenomena is so incredibly punctual. Why only at midnight? Another more fringe scientific idea revolves around geomagnetism. Some geologists have pointed out that the manor was built over a confluence of underground water sources and rare mineral deposits, creating a unique magnetic field in the area. The theory posits that at a certain time of night, as the Earth's own magnetic field shifts slightly, this local anomaly could somehow interact with the iron-rich structure of the building, producing a psychoacoustic event. It's a long shot, a theory on the very edge of known science, but in a mystery this strange, all possibilities are on the table. The psychological impact on the community is undeniable. For newcomers, the first time they hear the scream is terrifying. They call the police, just as people did 80 years ago, and receive the same puzzled response, but over time, it becomes a strange, unsettling part of the local character. Children dare each other to get as close as they can to the manor's fence at 11:59 p.m. Teenagers use it as a backdrop for spooky stories, and the adults, well, they mostly just try to ignore it. They've accepted that they live next to something that can't be explained. What's truly fascinating is the testimony of the skeptics who go there to debunk the story. Many arrive confident that it's just mass hysteria or a misidentified natural sound, like a barn owl or a fox. They sit in the dark, patiently waiting, armed with logic and reason, and then it happens. They hear it. The experience often leaves them visibly shaken. They can't explain what they heard, but they know it wasn't an owl. They check their equipment and find nothing, which only deepens their confusion. They leave not as believers in ghosts, necessarily, but as people who have confronted a phenomena that their worldview cannot account for. They've heard a sound that, according to all the data, shouldn't exist. The building itself seems to be a willing participant in its own myth. Over the years, every attempt to demolish or repurpose the manor has failed spectacularly. In the 1960s, a developer bought the land with plans to build a modern housing complex. The project was plagued by a series of bizarre and costly accidents. Equipment malfunctioned without reason, workers reported feeling constantly watched and inexplicably ill, and funding suddenly fell through. The developer went bankrupt, and the manor was left alone once more. In the late 90s, another attempt was made, this time to turn it into a historical landmark and museum. The restoration crew experienced similar issues. Tools would go missing only to reappear in impossible places. Freshly painted walls would be covered in strange, damp handprints overnight. The project was abandoned after a structural engineer, A man with a flawless 30-year career quit on the spot, refusing to step foot on the property again. He would only say that the building didn't want to be saved. So Blackwood Manor stands, decaying with each passing year, holding its secrets close. Is it a portal to the past, replaying a moment of unimaginable terror? Is it a complex architectural instrument, playing a nightly symphony of fear with the wind? Or is it something else entirely, a phenomenon that our current understanding of science and reality simply cannot grasp? The only thing we know for sure is that if you stand on the quiet street corner facing the old manor as midnight approaches, you will hear it. You will hear a sound that your ears tell you is real, but that technology tells you is impossible. The mystery of the screaming building isn't just about a sound, it's about the line between what we know and what we experience. It forces us to question the reliability of our own senses and the limits of our scientific instruments. It's a reminder that there are still corners of our world that are truly, deeply unknown. What do you think is happening at Blackwood Manor? Is it a ghost story or a scientific puzzle waiting to be solved? Let us know your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoy venturing into the unexplained, be sure to subscribe to Beyond Known, where we explore the mysteries that lie just beyond the edge of our understanding. Thanks for watching.